Why do you feel lonely? There are 3 reasons why you feel lonely. It's not because you're isolated. There are people around you in your life, but you feel lonely because number 1, you don't feel understood. Number 2, you don't feel cared about. And number 3, you don't feel that you can express yourself with people fully. You don't feel understood because you don't understand yourself, but you can understand yourself when you express yourself. When you express yourself, you can observe yourself and understand yourself. You can feel understood by others by actually sharing with others the things that you're going through. You don't feel understood right now because no one understands what you're going through because you're keeping it to yourself. You're not going to feel not lonely, you're not going to feel understood unless you can actually give someone the opportunity to understand what's going on. Second reason you feel lonely. The second reason you feel lonely is because you do not feel cared about. Like we said, understood, cared about, express yourself. Oh, I'm swearing. You feel lonely because you do not feel that you can express yourself. So, you don't feel cared about with people. Sorry, I paused it because there's a car. You don't feel cared about by people. And there are people in your life that might tell you that they care about you. Maybe there's no one in your life that tells you, but maybe there are people that they tell you they care about you, they tell you they love you, but you don't feel cared about. Do you know why that is? It's because you haven't shared with them the things that are getting to you. They can't care about what's going on inside you unless you share with them what's going on inside you. They can care about everything on the surface and they can say, I care about you, but you can feel uncared about because they don't care about what's going on inside of you. And you don't feel cared about because you can't share what's going on inside of you. But if you just share what's going on inside of you, someone can then care about that. And then you will feel cared about, man. So now you feel understood, now you feel cared about, and the final one is what ties it all together. You feel alone and you feel lonely because you cannot express yourself with others. When we go through sadness, it's often not the worst part. The worst part is being alone with it. It's about being lonely. And I tell you, being alone is the worst feeling in the world. This feeling doesn't go away until these 3 criteria have been met. And the third one is expressing yourself to others. You see, no one can understand you until you express what needs to be understood with others. No one can care about you until you can express what needs to be cared about to others. So how do we express ourselves to others? That's the third step, being able to express yourself fully. I'm going to tell you, when we're depressed, we put up a front. I do it all the time when I'm depressed. And then sadness is fine, but the worst part, like I said, is just being alone with the sadness. We feel alone in the sadness because we don't tell anyone about it, we don't express it. And therefore, everyone just sees the version of us. You know what I mean, right? Like people ask you how you are and you say you're fine, but you're not fine, and they'll never ever ever know that. And that's not their fault, man, it's our fault. Because you see, we walk around with a mask on our face, pretending to be someone that we're not. And we hide behind this mask, even in the smallest of ways. Everyone hides behind a mask. But when you're sad, you just hide behind a bigger mask than everyone else, because you're hiding more things. And you feel lonely because no one knows the real you. No one knows what's going on under that mask. Did you like how I used my hand to express that? So I want to talk about how we can express ourselves, because that's such a big part of it. You can express yourself to others when you can actually trust others with what's going on underneath. You see, we don't tell others because they think badly of us. We don't tell others because we believe that they think will be weird. We don't express ourselves to others because we believe they're not going to like us if they know what's going on. They won't want to hang out with us, they won't think we're cool, whatever the reason is, but we just don't tell them. And so we don't trust them with what's going on. We don't trust that they will still like us if they knew that this is going on underneath. I'm telling you right now, the people that matter and the people that count in your life are the people that would care about what's going on underneath. But no one is going to care about what's going on underneath unless you can express it. So how do you express it? It takes trust. You have to find someone in your life that you can trust with your sadness and your pain. Maybe there's no one in your life that you can trust. But if there's no one in your life you can trust, I bet there's someone in your life that you wish you could trust. And if there's someone in your life you wish you could trust but you can't trust, I'm going to tell you, you can trust this person if you try. You see, trust means believing in what you cannot see. If I give someone £5 and I trust them to pay it back, I believe they're going to give me the £5 back even though I haven't seen it yet. That's called faith. It's faith in what you cannot see. And I'm telling you, man, if you have no trust with your emotions, then you are going to be alone because you're keeping it to yourself. That's why you feel so alone. You're keeping it to yourself, man. If you can find someone who you wish you could trust, you don't know if you can trust them or not, but you wish you could. I'm telling you, you never know unless you try. And when you take that step out in faith and actually tell them what's going on underneath the mask, you tell them your fears, you tell them your pain. When you do this, you realize that you can be understood. You can be cared about. There's someone that knows you for who you are, deep down. There's a car coming. I won't try and talk over the car. And you realize that there is someone that cares about you deep down. You don't have to be alone anymore. And you don't feel alone anymore because you feel understood. You feel cared about. And you know how to express yourself. It's by trust, man. Once you've done this, once you've done these simple steps, you're not going to feel alone. And only then can you start trying to have loads and loads and loads of friends. But if you're feeling alone, don't try and have 1 million friends. Because that's not going to stop. That's not going to make you feel any more connected to people. In fact, it's harder to connect to 1 million people than it is to one person. It's easier to connect to one person than 1 million people, right? So if you're feeling alone, why do you want to have loads of friends? It doesn't make sense. Take the baby steps first. Okay? You can't do 2 steps in 1 step. Take the baby steps first. And then your real friends are going to appear in your life. And you're going to smile again, and it's not going to be fake.